Hi there, Andy. So you'd like to know how to make rope out of natural fibers. Well, the first thing we're looking for is a specific plant that is called dogbane. It's in the milkweed family, and it tends to grow in areas where there's high water table or wetlands, but not too wet. And looking in the brush over here, I see several dogbane plants, and so this is what we're looking for over here. Notice the distinctive pods that grow off the branches of this plant. They will grow up to 3, 4, or 5 feet tall, and when the plant is ready for harvesting, you notice that the bark has a reddish hue to it. Now, we don't want to kill the plant. It's a perennial, and what we'll do is we'll break the stalk off just above the ground, and we'll leave the root undisturbed so we don't kill the plant, so that this year another plant will grow up and we can harvest that next fall for more fiber. So here we go. Now, these are very nice plants that we're picking here. They got some vines growing around them, but we'll pull those vines off. Now, this dogbane is got a grayish hue to it, and so that might be too old for us to use. This one has a nice red bark, so we'll get some good fiber out of that. And this stalk here looks very good. And I think we got the raw materials now to begin our making some cordage. We got ourselves a nice pile of dogbane that would give us enough fiber for a fair amount of cordage. Now, to begin, we've got to prepare the dogbane so that we can get the fiber from it. First, pull the stems off so that we just have a straight stalk, and pull this vine off that grew around it. Now, what we want to do in order to get the fiber is in the bark, and we have to peel the fiber off of the woody part of the plant. Again, you want a plant that's grown and died back, and that's where the kind of plant that you'll be getting the fiber from. But you don't want it to get too old, because then the fiber's weak and it won't be any good. So what we do is we begin by breaking down the stem, and this one's pretty tough because it's pretty tall, so what we need to do is step on it, and we'll lay it flat, and then we just step on it, break it down, the stem. It's a hollow tube-like stem, and now that we've got it broken up, we peel back down the stalk, break off a segment. You can already see some of the fibrous part of the bark coming off. We got a nice piece here. Throw that. And you don't want to do this wet. The stems have to be pretty dry when you peel the fibers off. Now we got ourselves some nice stalks. Now we'll begin the work of removing the fiber. Now, the fiber is just under the bark. Some people take a knife and just rough up the outer surface to get the bark off and expose the fiber. Others, what I do is once I get the fiber out, I just roll it, and the fiber crumbles off. So what we do is we begin by getting our strip like so, and then we break the tip forward and we peel back until we get a piece of fiber that comes off. And this is a little brittle down at this end, so we'll have to break up a little ways until we get a nice sturdy piece of fiber. There we go. We'll have to go up the stalk a bit. There we go. Now we're starting to get somewhere. Now the fiber will peel off the woody part, but you have to be careful about how you do it because you want to get as long a strand as you can. So you continually break the woody part down as you peel the fiber down. And you do it carefully so you get a long strand.
Go.
Just working it back and forth like this crumbles the bark off and leaving just the fiber. The bark doesn't have any tensile strength in it. It's this nice fiber that you have inside that has all the strength. In fact, this natural fiber is stronger than artificial fiber. A cord made out of dogbane is a stronger cord than out of rayon or polyethylene, other polymers. And you can make a cord of any length because you can splice these strands together. And I could show how when I start winding the cord into the strands into a cord. Now, as you can see, I prepared the two strands of fiber, kind of wound them together a little bit. They're loose. And what I did was I took two strands and then tied them together at the end of the knot, and then I began a winding to make the cord called reverse wrap. And to make a reverse wrap, you take one of the strands, twist it in one direction, and then you wrap it over the other strand in the opposite direction of the twist. So you go and you just repeat over and over again. You twist, wrap, twist, and wrap. And you try not to get too tangled up. You keep the strands separate, and you got to hold with your finger where you've just wrapped so that it doesn't unwrap. So you twist, wrap, keep the strands separate. Takes
3, go.
Well, Andy, this is after about an hour's worth of work of peeling and preparing the fiber and twisting it together. We got ourselves a strand, a little cord, several feet long. It's very strong, and it could be useful. And I understand that this is possibly a useful thing to know when you're out in the wild, and for a survival tip to know how to make cord. And I've made several here of different thicknesses. You can see this is pretty thick. I've also got milkweed and dogbane twisted together, so the milkweed is the whiter, dogbane is a little redder, more golden color. And I made a couple of little crude necklaces here. I attached shark's teeth to them as pendants, and my daughters like to wear those. And so there are a number of things that you can do with this. It's a lot of fun, and you can be creative and make different things. So that's it, how to make cords out of things that you pick out in the woods. There you go.